Thanks for staying with us. So, the former Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, recently was impeached in Lagos State as Speaker of the House of Assembly. He claimed that the election of Honorable Mojisola Miranda as the new Speaker did not follow the law. Claims his impeachment was carried out using a fake mace and police intimidation, declaring his removal null and void. Now, obviously, social media has gone on to have their thoughts on this, and we read in the papers also that the GAC has said that they resolved this internally. But the conversation around it was the process illegal, and the allegations that was made about the speaker. How do Nigerians see it, and how do they hope the government can take it forward from there? That's really the conversation this morning. You can call us on 0810764 1679 09024163440. You can also send us messages on X and YouTube. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts. One of the reasons why we have this kind of conversation is because we need to learn from each other and learn from the process. Lagos State has always been the forerunner in adopting and ensuring due process and seeing that things are done differently and properly. So when we see things happen, we have to think to ourselves, okay, is this how it's supposed to be done? Was it done properly? And if we're going to be leaders in this area, let's ensure that we follow due process. But let me start with you. What are your thoughts on the entire battle going on in the Lagos State House of Assembly?
There's been a lot of controversy within the Lagos House of Assembly. They've had there's been a false sense of calm over the past, over 4 years within the Assembly, right from the time when the former Speaker, who, is the former Speaker because right now we have another Speaker, was said to have demoted some members of the floor from being majority leader, suspended some people, withheld their pay. There's been issues within the State Assembly, but they just sort of like there was a sugar coating going on, falsely making it look like things were good when things were not good. And that pretense has been sustained for as long as they can sustain it. Right now, we are at the point where it is not sustainable anymore. So what we are seeing is offshoot of a long-term issue. And I feel that it is good for the democracy for there to be a bit of conflict. And within the State Assembly, we're not meant to agree. We're meant to agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, come to a resolution. We see other countries that have a more mature democracy, the way the arguments go on in the assembly, but it doesn't get physical or personal, and some places get physical. So I'm happy about this for our democracy. Let us fight it out and go to court and find out what is the right way to go about it. There are allegations online that according to the former speaker, the mace used was fake. The people said he actually kept the mace because he felt that this kind of thing might happen. And I said the mace is supposed to be symbolic, whether it is real or fake and all of that. But what worried me most was the response of it is a family matter. The Lagos State House of Assembly issues is not a family matter for a group of people to decide. Every member of the Lagos State House of Assembly are voted by state citizens. Lagosians voted for them. And everything done should be done with the law in mind. It's not a family affair. You shouldn't be discussed as a family affair because the impact of what goes on there sets precedents for future. Yeah. And we are working on our democracy right now. So nobody behind the scenes should be able to say, we will resolve the issue of what happened on the floor of this Lagos State Assembly. It should be resolved on the floor by members of the State Assembly.
Yes,
that's
like family
interesting angle. Interesting angle. So I'm going to come from both ways. One, that we follow as a lawyer, we follow the Constitution. And Section 92, Subsection 2C of the Constitution states how, a presiding officer should be or can be removed and approached. Yes, and that if you have less than 2/3 majority of the House members, the motion can be moved for a removal. And from what we saw, that happened. Even though Obasa is saying that he doesn't have a problem with him being removed, but that due process should be followed. Like BC rightly said, like Tokbe said, that the mace is a symbol of authority. So if something that is a symbol of authority that is for public use, it's not for personal or private use, you took it to go and hide. That means you knew there was impending danger. You knew that something is coming to happen or whatever. Is it your private property? The mace does not belong to you. So you hid it, but they brought another one, which which is a symbol of authority, and they used it to do what? They carry out the constitutional, thing that they wanted to do. That's one. Then secondly, I do not, he said that policemen invaded the House of Assembly, and then they invaded his house, right? And then his kids were locked out, and that his wife was kept under house arrest. The wife was not allowed to leave. Now, that is not constitutional, and that should not have happened. If that actually happened, that should not have happened, because this man, regardless of the fact that you've impeached him from a particular position, he's still a member of the House. Yeah. Right? He's still in service. And you shouldn't just treat people in that manner. Right. If there are certain allegations to be had, or the police should follow due process and bring those things and, not carry out
So let's there's always also the angle of administrative procedure. So he's no longer supposed to be at the speaker's house that is allocated to him. However, even if he has been changed and there's a new speaker, there should be a time limit, time frame where he's given the opportunity to leave, not to come and be harassed. But let me come to you, Bisi. What are your thoughts on all the drama that happened?
Yes, so we've been hearing whispers for a very long time now about what's been going on in the House of Assembly. Like Tope rightly said, whispers of there's usually misconduct. He's suspending people who stand up to challenge him. They've had issues where he had, suspended people. Some people have even said that they have seized what their perks of office was not given to them as well, because of some of the issues of, okay, he's doing something that is not really right, and people are standing up to challenge him. So we've heard those whispers there. So I wasn't really shocked when I heard the impeachment. And one of the reasons they mentioned for impeachment is gross misconduct and abuse of office. And for them to impeach, like you rightly said, you have to have a 2/3. So when I saw the video of the impeachment, I saw that they say, yeah, everybody yays. Nobody nays. I was like, is it that bad that everybody sitting in the room for whatever reason, whatever you call it, yes. Even if you say it's politically motivated, however you call it, no one person could say nay to nay you, away from. No, there was no nay. Nay, no, they there. The one where I see, no nay. It was yay. 33 of them yay it. And I heard 40. But I heard some had traveled. They were not available. So maybe those ones we send their own yay from wherever they are. But however, they just did about 20-something to get that to third. So the impeachment actually works. Now, when I heard him talking on live television, he was talking about the fact that he's very confident. They did not do it the right way, the procedure, blah, 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 blah. I also want him to realize that this is not... he shouldn't equate himself with the governor. They don't need permission for him to be impeached, right? The executive system is different from the what's it called? The House of Assembly, the parliamentary, the way they do things, their constitution is really different. So a speaker is necessarily not higher than anybody's, like the way we are on the table, for instance, right? And you now want to a speaker, you can be a speaker in the morning and in the afternoon. They want to try somebody else. Maybe they feel like, Tope is not speaking so well now. We want Amaka. It's not something that's that big that they have to go through processes, take permission, and it just happens. You are all supposed to be on the same status in the House. But people have said and have felt that he took the power so much. He felt like he was larger than life, even in their midst, understanding that he was there to serve and he was their pair as well. He's just the mouthpiece. He got carried away according to people's opinion. And that's one of the reasons that they feel like this power is intoxicating him so much.
Leader amongst equals. So, you see, I get that. Yeah, leader amongst equals. But the thing is, and I think I'd like to hop on what Tope said earlier. This is politics, and it shouldn't be personal. We should, in fact, I think, aside from the fact that people had the various versions on how this was carried out, I think is a way to strengthen our democracy, to even see him accepting that, okay, if you guys think I can't lead you, I'll step aside, but do it properly. And I think that he coming to the House also hopefully will resume, because he's a very influential leader in Agege. He's been there for a long time. I think he's come back maybe 4 or 5 times. 6 times. He's been back. So he's loved by his people. So this is a lawmaker that we cannot mistreat in any way. So, however, it's important for him to also accept the humble pie, eat the humble pie, and see that the people have said, you can't lead us anymore. We want you to stay aside. And I think he should accept that in good faith. But really and truly, I really believe that Lagos State, the GSC part, which Tokwe had mentioned, I think there's a part of the elders. So the law will take its position because there are still allegations. There are still issues of misappropriation. So EFCC matter will come. And I don't think the GSC or the family members are saying, don't do your work. But as family members, we must also mediate. There's always the position of mediation amongst equals, amongst friends, amongst party members, where you say, let us come in and explain that this is the reason why the people have set you aside. So there's a part where family members must play. There's a part where GSC must come to play in this. I don't really think they are totally excluded.
It shouldn't be in our face.
But it doesn't mean that the law will not take its course.
At this level. We can't have someone at this level in this season of our democracy and the resolution is family discussion. No, it doesn't. That's a democracy. It doesn't strengthen our democracy. It doesn't. It empowers a few people. So we will lobby the few people to get away with what we should do. While in actual fact, what we should be doing, we will respect them. We will respect the GSC because they deserve the honor, but we must ensure we create a system that do not empower one person above the majority.
So I hear you, but let me say why I disagree with you. As you said before, our democracy hasn't matured to the point where they are independent minds. You still need people who are going to direct you because, trust me, a lot of Nigerians, you tell them to vote for accountability or vote for competence, and they wouldn't. They'll do most of our infrastructure because of the level where our democracy is. Yes. The truth is, as a people, we still need those elders who are going to direct and move the ship where we want it to go. So I think the part where the GSC is playing is where they're saying, this has happened. The people have said, you cannot be our speaker. Come in, if there are any grievances, let us resolve because you are still a party member. You are still a member of this family. We're not discarding you. You are still a member of this family. Doesn't mean that the law will not take its course.
You are giving a coloration to the resolution.
I'm telling you that you are choosing. You are looking at it in one way. I can choose to look at it in a different way. A family meeting does not mean that I'm not letting the law take its course. I'm saying that as a family member, we are members. Like for example, where your view now, there could be issues where somebody, there are times where in the early days where the ladies have been suspended for one thing or the other. I can suspend you because you do something wrong because that's the process. But we can have a meeting where you are disgruntled. Why would Morale suspend me? They will not have a family meeting. Say the reason why you have to be suspended is because X, Y, and Z.
But you don't put it in the face of the viewers that you suspended. No, you have to resolve the meeting.
It shouldn't be. Okay, let me come in here, right? So we're in a democratic system, and the governing advisory council is there for a reason. And we have seen in the past, even currently, how politicians and politics can now be a fight and messy, and we were all rubbing ourselves in the mud, which does not align to the reasons and the purpose why they are there in the first place. So instead of spending the time to govern and to do what they're supposed to legislate and do what they're supposed to do, they spend so much time
doing family meetings,
doing private matters, doing politics, doing other things, right? And that is why the governing advisory council is there to be able to see you have everything is happening, but let's come together, eye on the ball and focus on what we are supposed to focus on, make sure that due process is being carried out. And like when also restated, this man is still a member of the house, regardless of anything. And if the allegations have been brought against him, as he's doing this, is either you suspend him or they allow EFCC, allow the police do their work while things are being carried out. That does not. Then, when all these allegations and proper due process has been taken, you cannot bring the result to the general public. That's a democratic. They're making it public, right? But you don't need to now make the whole muddy, messy. We've already done that. Can we now focus on what's...
No, the reason why it should be our business.
It's our business.
Let me tell you, and I'd like to hear your own thoughts, PC, on this. The reason why you think it should, because the reason why it should be our business is because people start making insinuations or start thinking different things in different quarters. If we know that the people is being resolved when it comes the emotional, all the issues of the fracas that is happening amongst the party members. If we know that the party, because there's politics and there's governance. They are two different things.
But they can
And there's the
influence
law.
one another.
So the truth is that somebody must address the political part, because there's a political game that must be played. So that's where politics is important, and we need the elders to steer the ship of those conversations.
Yeah,
And
I like the point you just raised. There's politics, there's governance, there's the law. The average Nigerian, average Lagosian, average Agege person, for instance, is not so concerned about the politics. We are more concerned about the dividends of governance, right? That is what affects us. If we decide to play a part in the politics, then we can sit at the table and say, okay, this is what has happened, this is the roles that we need to play. But a regular human being just wants to see that the rule of law is obeyed at every given point. The people who are making the laws are also obeying the laws. When the law catches up with the leaders, they also pay the price. That is all the message that needs to be passed across. Now, your intricacies, your politicking and all of that is not supposed to be for the general public. We see the Obodo Igbo places where they have their politicking and everything. They, see, when you watch some of their movies about this political, like 24, the drama is intense. And you're wondering, but we don't see this. It's not shown to the public, right? You have to be inside to understand what this politics is all about. What the people see is the governance. What the people see is the result. So when you want to get the people involved in the mess, the mud, the politicking, the lobbying, the everything, the settling, the family matters and all of that, it waters down the governance. And that's why we say that most times these people are really not making the laws they're supposed to be making. They are focusing their energy on politicking and doing other things. So you also mentioned something about leaders are there to guide and direct. Unfortunately, a stupid young person may likely become a stupid old man. White hair is not always wisdom. So if we have systems in place, whether you are wise or not, everybody follows the system. We go faster than when we are holding on and waiting for elders who most of the time are the rich and wise to be leading us every day. That's why we're crawling at this snail space. Pay attention to the systems, the modalities. Is it democracy? If the rule of law is broken, what do we do about it? Focus on that and see how fast we'll move as a nation, as a state, as a country.
Let me tell you
just waiting for elders to use their emotions. Let me tell you why this one speaks our language better and all of that.
Let me bring another angle for you. So you see, because sometimes we see things in one angle.
Yeah.
Another angle, let's just say that we are members of a group now. And we want, and this is the person who has been helping us ensure that this cup is full. That's his job.
Okay.
And every day he attains to ensure that this cup is full. Now, there's a grievance. This guy is, maybe he was impeached. So this is a former speaker. Now, as members of the GAC, it's important because I need this man who is handling, this is Agege. This is an important constituency for us.
Okay.
I need him to do the job he's been doing because we've been doing it consistently for many years now.
Okay.
He's delivering. He's a leader. Okay. I don't want this man to go to another party. I don't want him to go to and start a new party. Okay. I need that work he's doing. Okay. So even though there's a legal issue, I, as a family member, I need to call him for say, you are part of us. This is what's going on. We'll resolve it because what he is controlling is extremely important. That's the political part of the system.
Yeah, so
that we don't see. So
the
point is that Nigerians must see the connections.
Yes.
So that is important, just as the politics, the governance is important.
We're not removing the politics. And you have explained it so eloquently, there's no need to reiterate it. It's important. But we have seen how where politics has brought us, which is where we still have so many things that needs to be done that isn't getting done because we're trying to ensure we reserve the vote. I remember watching the video of the speaker talking about the governor and saying, my allegiance is to the party and ensuring the party remains.
That's the system.
No. What is legal is different from what he said. What he said is politically strong and relevant for him and his position. But it is not strengthening the structure and democracy. Of our democracy. Exactly. So we know where he stands. We know where his loyalty is. He is a consummate politician and it has kept him in that position for a long time. How well has he served in preserving the power of that that
System.
tool and
Yeah.
the system.
The system.
In
It's
protecting
not about
the system.
you.
We have people that have been in the house for a long time, and seniority is not being respected
At all.
in how positions are being assigned. We have new entrants into the assembly, getting high positions
can
that
dance
they do
to the
not
tune.
have the allegedly do not have the competence to handle, and that is now becoming a norm. We are creating a precedent that does not strengthen our democracy for the gain of politics. It is wrong. So let us discuss the power of politics, but let's also discuss the importance of
democracy.
And
Yeah.
also, I think that was well said.
Yes.
And I think you did a good job with that. Go ahead.
Yes, and also let me add to what she wants, because that's what I wanted to say, that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because from what you said, we were not now looking at the fact that allegations have been brought against this person that is filling the cup. Whether you're filling cup or not filling cup or whatever, right? If there's corruption,
allegations here.
no,
That's a different
what I'm
matter.
saying now.
That's
That's
a different
it's still
matter.
part of it.
Can't somebody
It's still-
fill
it's
the
still
cup?
part- It's still part of it. If you're whether you're filling cup or not filling cup, and then we are sticking strictly to our democracy and the law. And allegations of corruption has been brought against you.
Yeah.
You have to face the book. And let me tell you something. There's so many people in Agege, the
That will
constituency, that
fill-
can fill that cup and it will overflow.
There will few buckets.
So we don't, it's not about politics anymore, like she rightly said. We need to focus on ensuring that our democracy is protected and that no one person feels that they are Lord and Master.
Every time, elders and wisdom.
I like the way the conversation is going, because the idea really is to get different perspective and help Nigerians understand the various views. But I see that I like the various angles, and I think we can wrap up on this. I think we're done. But any comments on social media so we can finish up on this?
Lots of comments. Olufemi says power is transient. He should let go and move on with his political life. Another person, Akin Taiwo said, the former speaker Obasa should sit down. This is being a speaker is not his birthright. A lot of people have wisdom in Agege. Mina TP says Lagos is about continuity and it's a progressive state. However, whatever oils their will, GSC or not, is obviously working.
Emmanuel says corruption, they said family matters. No wonder Nigeria is not moving forward. Nigeria needs strong institutions, not strong men.
Well, like Kunle said, power is transcendent. He should let go and move on with his political life.
And Mina TP says, okay, Lagos State is about continuity and a progressive state. Whatever else their wheels, GSC is not is obviously working.
As you know, the GSC is not a constitutionally recognized organization. It's an APC constructor. Yeah. So I think it's their own decision is within their own party and affiliations. It has nothing to do with the law or the constitution. I think we can wrap up on this. Unless we want to take a few calls, maybe you can go on a short break.
I feel the entire world is watching.
Yeah.
The entire country is watching.
Yeah.
And how it plays out would be very, very.
But so far, I think it's been good. I mean, so far, I think that we haven't had anybody beating up anybody.
No, they cannot.
So far, we're still good. And I think the new speaker, I mean, in fact, let me go and if we could come back and talk about this new speaker. I've not seen her smile since this woman. People have gone to
lies the head.
People have come to her office when they're doing what they call the courtesy visit. She's like,
uneasy lies the head.
Greeting her
Because there's a lot of expectation.
I'm thinking, Auntie, are we fighting? What is going on?
She's not there to smile.
Let's go in a very short. Because when we come back, we'll take a few calls and then we wrap up on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.